I hope your front door is locked and your phone is switched off. It's match time, and nothing can come in the way of a head coach and his blood bowl.
Welcome to the Sage and CaffeinPrincess streaming Blood Bowl 2. Yes, really?
Yay.
Are you excited?
No?
Are you nervous?
Yes.
Okay, that's okay. And now she's blushing. Yes, she is. Right, guys. What we're going to be doing is basically I'm replacing the tutorial in Blood Bowl 2 because it's not that good. And I'm going to be helping Caff learn how to play Blood Bowl. We have this thing on 4-minute timer, which should help a little. She's playing as Orcs, I'm playing as Dark Elves. Those are the two races I would recommend new coaches to pick from. Orcs if you want to bash, and Dark Elves if you want to dash. She's basically the perfect noob for me to try and explain stuff to. So hopefully this explanation will be a good entry point for people who don't know the game yet to help them learn and help Caff as well in the meantime. So you know that this is a game about fantasy football where the races from Warhammer play something like football or rugby against each other.
Yeah.
Your objective is to smash all my players and also win in the meantime.
Yes.
Let's do this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and unpause. End the pause. So, we start off with the setup phase. Initially, there is a coin toss, which determines who gets to choose between kicking or receiving on turn 1. You see the turn marker here on your left, and on your right as well. Those are your own turns and mine. And I'm going to go for a very, very default setup, which protects my best players. They're the ones in the back row, and exposes my my expendables, who are in the front 2 sets of rows. Now, Caff, using the control key, you can switch between a bunch of views, and I would use the view that has a single skill icon above every character, or 2 skill icons across the guy in the middle. That's your thrower.
Yep.
Because that's the most informative. So, I'm choosing this starting setup because it focuses on being able to move wherever I want and not exposing my best players. Once I've clicked Confirm Setup, you'll get to choose how to set up your own players. And what you want to do is you want to use the guys who have the block icon. That's the blue thingy with the hand.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the ones who are going to be doing the punching.
Okay.
Okay? You've got 4 of them, which is really... What was that?
So I want them in the front.
Yes, you have 4 of them, which is really convenient. Because when your turn starts, you get to throw 3 punches to the guys on the line. And you get to do 1 action which lets you punch someone you're not next to, which is called a blitz. Mm-hmm. And since you have 4 guys with block, you can use it on all of those, which is really, really useful. What you'll want to do, when you throw a block, you compare the strength of your player to the strength of my player, and you'll want to have at least 1 more than I do. Because then you get to roll 2 dice and pick the best one. Mm-hmm. And since our strengths are both 3, that means normally you'd get 1 die, so you want to bring in an assist. Another player standing next to yours, and next to mine, well, actually just next to mine will do, who will help you with that block.
Okay.
So that means next to all 3 of these guys, you'll want 1 guy who has the block skill, and another guy, right?
Okay. Yep.
Does that make sense? Because then your strength will effectively be 4. The 3 from the blitzer, plus 1 from the assist.
Yes.
Ideally, you position your blitzers in such a way that they're not directly in front of me, but 1 square diagonal.
Okay.
Because what happens then, if your block result is a push, and you only push me back, you get to punch me again.
No, okay.
Make sense? Because if you push me straight forward, the guy standing next to you won't be able to throw a second punch.
Yeah. Okay,
All right. So you do 3 duos like that, who do the main blocking on the line. and then you will use the fourth blitzer to actually blitz forward later. Your thrower is going to be the one retrieving the ball. You'll want him somewhere in the middle of your backfield. He's not very fast. Movement 5 is not a lot. So you'll want some guys covering that, probably the linemen. And the black orcs are very, very well suited to do the assisting I mentioned earlier. Those are the big guys. Clear so far?
How do I change the camera?
C changes the camera between a bunch of views. You have the Blood Bowl 2 camera, diagonal, which is kind of awful. You have the free camera, which is nice if you want to look at players, but it's not really convenient. And you have the Blood Bowl 1 camera.
Yep.
Yeah, Blood Bowl 1 is the camera that I always use. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So, to select a player, you just left-click him. Very good. I would go a bit forward from there. Like 1 or 2 squares. Works. Yeah, perfect.
And then I want him there.
Yeah, that's fine. So you left-click a guy, and then you click the destination, and then he's there.
If I put him there,
That's
will
an
he
assist.
both?
He'll assist when he's next to me. So the fact that he's also next to the other guy doesn't help. So you'll need 6 players to get all of the good blocks in.
Am I thinking right here?
Yeah. Make sure to also move the 2 in the backfield. Yeah, that looks splendid. Now, the 2 guys that are on the outer wings, I would put them at least 1 square back. Setting up on the line of scrimmage where you don't have to is generally not a good idea. This works.
My lineman?
So I would swap the black orc with the lineman on your left flank. That's right for the viewers. And then move that lineman you've got in the back, something like 4 squares forward, maybe 5, maybe a diagonal as well, a bit on the side.
To the middle or out?
Out.
Like there?
Perfect. That's exactly where I was pointing. All right, and the other one symmetrically related to that. Yeah. So what you've got now is a situation where if the ball lands deep and you wind up in trouble, those 2 linemen still have some mobility to cover that thrower as he moves to get the ball.
Yes.
Right? You've got 3 blocks that you can make with 2 dice with the block skill. That's really good. And you've got a situation where if they roll pushes, the black orcs can throw a second punch, which is also very helpful. And then you've still got the remaining blitzer on your right flank, that's left for the viewers, to go and blitz Hithfin here, the most forward lineman on my back row.
Yeah.
So I think this is a very sensible setup. This works. And so then you can hit confirm setup. Right. Now I get to kick the ball. Since I don't have the kick skill, I don't have much control over where it goes, so I'm just going to aim it right in the middle. And we'll get a kickoff event. These can be really influential. Right now this one isn't super interesting. I get an extra reroll from the kickoff event. So the ball lands. Ooh, that's a bad spot for you. So the orcs are slow, right? And that ball is in a spot where you'd have to even make a GFI, a going for it, in order to reach it. If you click your orc, the thrower,
Which one? The thrower?
then you'll see a square of squares that he can reach normally, and then there's an outline of that with a bunch of squares with a die on it.
Yeah.
That means in order to reach that square, you need to succeed on a 2+ roll, so not roll 1, in order to get to that square. So you're running faster than you really could. You're not going to do that yet, but what you are going to do is you're going to send both your line orcs diagonally left back to cover that area where the ball is right now. So Badhar, your left line orc, right for the viewers, is going to go 1 square out from the side, because you want to secure that area as much as possible. They're going to accompany.
Out to the side.
Yeah.
I would want to put him there.
Yeah,
But
that
that's
works.
too many.
That works too now because I can't reach that. Normally that's a dangerous spot because I could knock you into the crowd. But because it's very far away, it doesn't really matter all that much.
But that's a lot of die roll to get there.
No, that's a free movement. You only start rolling dice when you do the extra squares. So just one square to the right of where you pointed.
I have square around them here.
Just
Or
one
dice
square,
around them.
one square right of where you just pointed will do. Oh, no, right click. Yeah, exactly. You were doing a sequential
okay, so I'm moving
path.
them there.
Yes. Okay. And the other one just goes 5 squares diagonally back left.
So there.
Yes. Okay. Now, at least if something else goes wrong, you've got some guys who secured the location where the ball is. You'll want to do your 2 die blocks now. You know the guys with block. Click one of them.
Yeah.
Mouse over my guy. You should see 2 white dice.
Yes.
Yes. Click them. Okay, this is good. See, this icon indicates both down. Normally that's bad because it's a turnover, but because you've got the block skill, it's actually good for you. Because you don't go down, and I do. Now, rinse and repeat for the other 2. Yeah. Also good. If that had been a black orc, you would have had to use a reroll to prevent a turnover. So this is already showing value of the block skill left and right. This one is a POW push. The yellow one is good. This one is a POW push. This means you knock me down and push me back. Unless I have the dodge skill, which I don't on this team. So we can ignore that for now. So this is also good. Probably to your right and follow up. So now you get a prompt saying, do you want to follow or not? Yes, that works. So what you have in terms of save moves is a movement from the black orc on your right flank. You'll want to use him to assist your blitz, which is going to be against Hithfin.
So I want to move him like there.
That's fine, yeah. And then use your remaining blitzer. When you click my guy, you see a blitz. In this case, it'll probably be the right direction you want to blitz from, but you can customize that if you want. Yeah, this is perfect. Go for it. Okay, so which one of these do you think is better?
This one.
Good. Now, you've got 2 options. Put him next to the black orc. So, yes. Because what happens now is I'll need to... No, I wouldn't follow. Typically, what you want to do is you want your players... No, that's nice. What you want to do is you want to make sure your players are next to my guys who are on the ground. And usually not next to my guys who are standing. Because the guy on the ground will have to roll dice to get away from you. And the guys who are standing can actually knock you over. I'd move
What do I do with the last 3?
I'd move 2 squares back so that you're behind the lineman who's down there. Yes, perfect. Yeah. None of the other guys are really in a bad spot right now. I would probably move the black orc on your left flank 1 square forward. Yeah. So now he's kind of covering this side a little bit. Okay. That means now you can try the GFI, the going for it, to get to the square where the ball is. Yes. And then you'll try to pick it up. Now, going for it is usually just a 2+ roll. Yay! The pickup also requires a die roll. For agility 3, which is your thrower, you need to roll a 3 or higher. But you also have a built-in skill called Sure Hands. If you mouse over your player card, you can see it. And that means that you automatically get to try and reroll that.
Do I get to throw this to someone? I have 10 seconds.
You could, but you don't want to. Typically, you only throw if really, really needed.
Okay, so now I'm going to run with him to the other... to your side.
Yeah. So your goal is to get him to the other side. That was a good turn. So I already kind of glossed over it, but one of your punches was very successful. The first 3 only knocked me down and didn't manage to break my armor. But on the 4th punch, your blitz, you actually wound up not just knocking me down, but actually removing me from the game. And not only that, you actually permanently injured the player. which is a big part of what makes Blood Bowl fun, is that it's a persistent game. So you get to try and maim your opponents until they are broken and they have nothing left. So what I'm going to do, since the ball is very far back, I'm going to try and get around these orcs at the front and actually go and threaten the backfield a bit. Because I want
Don't threaten my backfield.
I want your ball carrier not to be safe. And that forces you to retreat a little bit, basically.
I can't retreat much more than I can.
Well, the ball can't, but a lot of your players... This is really a game about where are you strong and where are you weak. And let's see. I think this place will do for now. And so what I want to do is I want to make sure that I take your position of strength, which is around the center, and force you to go backwards rather than forwards. Which I do by putting pressure on that ball carrier. Make sense?
Yep.
So.
Don't hurt him.
See, this is bad. I've got the block skill, which means there's only one bad result on every die roll I make. And I managed to roll that bad result on both of these. The chance that this is happening is only a 1 out of 36. But this is better. This one is called the POW. And it means you knock the opponent down no matter what skills it has, and back.
No, don't break my armor.
I did just break your armor, which is unlikely because orcs have armor value 9. They're kind of good at not being broken. Just not right now. And so now I'm going to move my other dudes. And this guy's going to go here to try and threaten you a little bit. And then we do some dodging, I suppose. So what you'll see now is I'm trying a dodge. For an elf, that's relatively easy. I only need to roll a 2 or higher to get away from you. But what you can't see, but I guess maybe you can when I select him. No. Go click on the prone elf that's in front of your black orc. What you'll see is...
almost middle, to my left.
The one to your left, yes. What you'll see when you click him is where he can go, but also how difficult that is. Because...
Yeah, tackles.
Yes, exactly. You see the yellow icon, which indicates that there's one tackle zone on that square. If I want to dodge in there, I don't need to roll a 2, but I need to roll a 3. Because it's harder to dodge into a tackle zone. If I want to dodge here, I need to roll a 4. Can you tell me why?
Because there's 2 tackle zones?
Very good. So going here is very difficult because I'd have to roll a 4+, which fails half the time. But if I really wanted to be there, I could tell the game I want to dodge here and then go there. Then I'd only have to roll a 2+ to dodge into the clear. And then I could reposition. So figuring out the right direction to go can matter a lot for how many dice you need to roll and therefore how risky your actions are. I managed to roll a 1, which means I fell over. Now, when I rolled those 2 skulls, I had to use a team reroll to make sure that that didn't affect me. You can only use one of those per turn, which means I didn't get that option when I failed this dodge. Back to your turn. First thing I would do if you're figuring out where you're going to be is your thrower. Click him, and then see how far can he go.
He can go there.
Yes. So now you know that that's where you want to go and where you want to get safe. So then you figure out, can I get safe there? And can I get safe there without giving up too much ground? And you can. In part because you sent those 2 helpers with him.
Yes.
So probably the best thing for you to do right now, if you're starting your turn, you want to do stuff that's important and stuff that's safe in the beginning. Now,
yes.
Moving your cage without rolling dice is both important and perfectly safe. Unless you misclick, you're not going to suffer risks there. So what I would do is I would... Yes. And in order to get a safe formation, the easiest way to do that is to occupy the squares diagonally away from him. All 4 of those.
Yes. Who do I want to put there?
Well, if you look at the back squares, who can go there? Who can reach that without rolling dice?
My dudes here.
Yes, because if you click one of your blitzers, you can see that they'd have to roll a GFI to get there. So the two dudes in the back are now perfectly placed to keep walking along with that thrower. Your black orcs, the big strong ones, have only movement 4, so they can't actually occupy the cage corners. So the most sensible thing would be to use your blitzers for that right now.
So if I take that dude... No, I don't want to take him because you are very much over there.
Exactly. Very sensible. So the blitzers... Yes. The blitzers there aren't doing that much. No, that's fine. That was good.
Okay.
Yeah. You can do this without rolling dice.
Okay. And then we'll take him.
Yes, perfect. So, this formation, do you see why it's so safe?
Because there's a lot of tackle zones everywhere.
Exactly. There's 4 squares from which I could reach your ball carrier, and all of those have 3 tackle zones on them. So this is the simplest way of making your ball safe from getting punched. Now,
I want to punch you or your people now.
Yes, and the guy you'd most want to punch is probably Minmare, my blitzer who's the furthest forward. Because you want to prevent me from getting between your other dudes in your cage.
Yes.
One thing you'll want to do is you'll set up an assist from the Black Orc, not from the Blitzer, because the Blitzer has blocks, so you want to blitz with him. Yeah, that works. Now, before you blitz, because blitzing involves rolling dice, and if you can, you want to leave that for last. You want to think of, where do I need my other guys? Because those two on your right flank, left for the viewers, are not in a perfect spot, because you want to prevent my team from swarming yours. So I would use them to screen off the area between my players and your cage. Yeah, that looks good. You could go 1 square back from that and put the Black Orc up front. He's stronger, it's harder for me to get to knock him down.
What if I put him... Yeah, but now I can't do that because I can't keep running with him. Or can
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you don't move with the next player, you can select a different one, see how far you can go, then select the same one and continue your movement.
30 seconds. Talk less.
Yeah. Put the Black Orc there. Yeah. That's good. Blitz my blitzer. So your blitzer knocks him over. Yes, perfect. Okay. Remember what I said about where to knock someone down?
I'm choosing the yellow one, right?
You're choosing the yellow one because that knocks me over. The blue one would just push me. And since I'm going prone, putting me next to the Black Orc is actually better than putting me free, because then I'll have to dodge to get away. Yeah.
Do I want to stay or follow? I want to follow, right?
In this case, you could. Doesn't really matter. If you want to go that way, then yes. If you want to go the other way, then no. Because the square of follow is a point of movement that you've already spent. So if you choose not to take it, you'll just be closer to going right. Screen off the cage a little bit, so go back like 2 or 3 squares. I meant with the blitzer, but you're doing fine.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
But yeah, I didn't have that much time.
Okay, so the direct. No, talking is good. That's why people are here.
We have 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'll try and talk more on my turn.
Good.
So, what you see now is that the direct routes between where my players are and where your cage is very obstructed, right? If this is not a good way for me to move. So you're standing in my way. That's good. That means I can't exert a lot of influence over, say, this part of the pitch, which is kind of where I'd want to try and stop you. So your guys up front are preventing me from interfering with your guys in the back. And that is basically was your goal for this turn. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm a little bit disappointed that I can't really interfere with you back there that much. Now there's a couple of things I could do. I could just try... Oh, your Discord broke. That's so sad. What's going on there? Caff, are you still there?
I don't know, am I?
I can't see you. I can hear you. Yeah, now you're perfectly sideways. Thanks. Yay. Since Caff's computer is kind of slow, she's using Discord on her phone, which is less than perfect. So what I wanted to do was interfere with the cage, but because you've positioned in my way so much, I can't really do that. So I could choose to just knock this guy over and hope to accomplish something there. Or I could choose to try and bother your thrower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to do just that. Before I make that blitz, I'm going to do my safe moves, because that's sensible. And I'm positioning in such a way that I try and constrict your mobility as much as possible. Keep you from moving around. Well, what I'm doing is I'm placing my players in such a way that even if you knock me over, you're actually not able to move all that much. You see this, how the guys in the back are all one square behind each other?
Mm-hmm.
If you knock over one of the front guys, you're not going to be able to move much further because the guy in the back's still there. So this is a what we call a column defense, because they are columns, not like rows. Mm-hmm. And each column of 2 players is basically preventing you from knocking through and running on. You can knock one down, but you can't keep running. So now what I'll do is I'll blitz the guy on this corner. And if I knock him down, I'm just going to stand next to your ball carrier. Now you see I've rolled 2 block dice. One is a push, which means that you don't get knocked down, and the other is a both down. What happens if I click the both down, do you think?
You go. No, I had nothing.
Exactly, nothing happens. We both stay standing here. So that's bad for me, because I'd be next to your orc. And because I didn't get to knock him over, I don't want to stand there, because you just get to throw a free punch. So my plan to irritate your thrower failed, because I didn't get the knockdown dice. Which means now you're a lot more mobile, because you don't need to spend your blitz action on knocking me over. What you saw now is that the block skill isn't only useful when you're the one blocking, but also when you're the one getting blocked, or in this case blitzed. Because if your blitzer didn't have block, I would have been able to get an armor roll against him and kept standing myself.
Yes.
So block is a skill that's both good on offense and on defense when it comes to punching. Alright. Are you ready? Do you have a plan for your turn? Do you have a thing you'd like to achieve during your turn? Tell me what it is.
I want to get my thrower to the right side.
Yes.
Keep going diagonally the way I'm going.
So the diagonal route is very, very much open to you. And since you still have your blitz action, you can make it a lot more open. Do you see how?
Or did a thing again.
Yeah, it did a thing again.
No, then now you're back at least.
That's good. Yay, thank you.
Oh shit, fuck.
Sorry, YouTube.
Oh god, it's my...
Your turn just started, you still have 4 minutes, that's why I was talking in my turn. Don't worry. No, don't do that. Okay, right click, deselects, because if you select your thrower and then you click someone else, you make a pass. You don't want to do that. So there's only one player between you and your objective. Your objective is to move your entire force to your right flank. There's one player in the way.
That's him.
Him, yes, Gaintin. So you want to blitz him, and you want to use 2 dice again, which means an assist, and the block skill, right? Makes sense? So I would probably pick one of the linemen from the back, the one on your right, to do the assist. Because he's not getting any further than that anyway. And that way you still have a lot of mobility on the other guys.
So put him straight in front of your dude.
I would put him 1 square to his right and just as far as he can go. There.
There?
Oh, I would just... No, the other. Your right. The one on your right. Because that one leaves less room for me to do stuff in case things go incredibly pear-shaped.
Where do I want him?
To your right of my dude.
No, right. Left
Yes.
and right is hard. So up there.
It is. It is.
And
So
then
now
I
you
want
get
someone with block.
someone with block to do the blitz. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
So if I do...
Yeah, that works just fine. Okay, this is a good result again, because you rolled the POW, which means you get to knock me on my ass. And next to your guy is just fine. So this, don't
follow.
You're gonna follow, don't click it yet, that buys you time. This is a part where planning becomes very important. If you already know where you want your other guys to go, that informs you where this guy needs to go. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I think in this case, 2 squares diagonally forward is quite alright for you.
For whom?
The blitzer, because he's the only, his movement has to be finished before you move the next guy. Yeah, that looks decent. Okay. Now, your black orcs are very strong, and they don't get knocked down very easily. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to form your cage from the linemen and the blitzers, and you'll probably want your black orcs to actually start getting in touch with my players. You'll definitely want to stand up the one on your left, right, for the viewers. That
Now?
would have technically, yeah. You can just double click him to stand him up. And the others, I would connect to the linemen. So basically the one in the middle, Badruk, goes diagonally forward to your right.
So there?
No, just
how far?
one square. One square, just get in touch. Yeah. And the other one, Varag, goes 2 squares diagonally forward.
Right or left?
Right. Yeah, that works. So this is like a bastion of strength for you. Now we'll want to figure out where your players are going. I would say your thrower is going to wind up 2 squares behind Badruk, which would put him there. Can you click that square and see whether we're talking about the same one?
I can see where you are.
Okay.
Is it 2 squares behind him?
Yeah, 2 squares behind Badruk. Yes, but don't go there now, because now it's a GFI, because your blitzer's in the way. So click the blitzer on the corner and put him on a cage. No, right click, deselect, yes. So you take this guy and you put him, well, there works, but I would put him diagonally, because you want the cage, right? Remember the X shape?
Yes.
Use him to fill out the X.
So there.
Fine. 12 seconds.
Now we have 13 seconds.
Yeah, that's okay. Now you can move the thrower. No, don't get next to my player. Well, we'll see.
Oh, I didn't.
I meant 1 square away from it. Right click to deselect.
Yes, I didn't.
Finish out the X. Click. You can do it. You can do it. There's the black orc.
2? What? Wait, what?
Okay.
I finished the... Oh, okay.
Yeah, this takes a bit of time, and unfortunately we cannot set the turn. We cannot set the turn timer to unlimited, and I talk a lot. I know. So, I meant for your thrower to be 1 square to your left, which would have allowed you to form a complete cage around him.
No, okay, yeah.
You can pause Slumpoop, but you're only allowed to pause 3 times per game. So, let's just go with the idea that you did actually make this mistake, because
yes,
I think it's it's informative to see what happens when you do something like this, right? So you're going to be here. So the orc Badruk almost forms a corner of your cage, but not quite. Because he's still in a tackle zone. That means I can block him. And if I can block him, that means I can move him away from where he is right now. See that?
Mm-hmm.
So if I make this block and it's good, which it is, that leaves me a little gap there to actually run in and try and hit your ball carrier. I guess I should not be following this up because I'd be in my way. Do you see why that's a problem?
Yeah, because I'm open.
Yes, because if you look at this path, I can make this dodge, which is only a 2+, and then go here and punch your ball in the face.
Don't punch my ball in the face!
See, this is bad. I only get to roll 1 die and it's a skull, so now I'm sad. But this is way, way better. Now I'm happy again. Oh, you filthy looker.
That's good for me, right?
Yes. If you leave the ball lying on the ground, and there's elves nearby who can pick it up, that's super scary. Fortunately for you, you didn't leave it on the ground. It bounced straight into the hands of another player who caught it. That ass. So now I'm a little bit miffed about that. I'm still going to try and irritate you. Oh, I succeed a little. So what I'm doing now is I'm basically doing damage control. Because I've given up a lot of ground. And I'm not too happy about that. So the reason I dodge away from the orc on your left flank is because he's probably not going to be very important this turn. The orc in the center though, Varag Eatnub, he might be very important. He might just be the difference in this strength battle that we're going to have. Which is why I'm actually choosing to leave Camhill here next to him. Because you're not going to want to start your turn blocking with him because he doesn't have the block skill. And you're kept from moving him to assist because he cannot dodge very well. He's got agility 2, which means dodging into the clear would be 50-50 chance of failure. So basically, I'm making sure I'm keeping him stuck there. Okay. Now, when you're watching me play my turn and you see what I'm doing, you want to already start thinking about, okay, he's going to be here, he's doing this, how do I counteract that? Because you want to plan your turn in your mind before you start to actually have to play it. Especially when you're just getting started and things are difficult and it's slow. Okay? So, do you have a plan yet?
Yeah.
Okay, care to share?
No, because it's a very, very bad plan. I want to try to get your lineman people around my ball carrier down.
Okay,
because I want him out.
Yeah. Now, two of the 3 are next to your guys, so you could just block them. The third one is only next to your lineman. You don't want to block with him. So you'll probably want to blitz that third guy.
Yes.
Okay.
The thing is, I want to be able to cage something as well.
Yes. And if you're more experienced at the game and you have a lot of practice, then you'll already realize where your cage is going to be if things succeed, where it's going to have to be if things fail. And that's a bit difficult right now to figure out. So a good place to start would be figuring out how to get your 2-die blocks. I think my first move would be assisting against the lineman who's closest to your side of the pitch with the black orc. That works. I would probably move him around. So, behind my dude. Yes. And this is the guy you're going to have to blitz.
Yeah.
Who do you think is best suited for doing that? Yes, very good. Just so. So, this is again a good result. You do not pick the push, but you want to knock me over. And I would put him next to the black orc. Yes.
Stay or follow?
I'd follow. So now there's actually a very interesting opportunity for you, which I will want to teach you about. If your blitzer goes directly next to the line orc who has the ball, then just go ahead and do that. Yes. What you'll see now is that your other blitzer, Morkbur, can block this lineman, Gainton. And if he does...
I have to find him.
Yes.
Yeah.
If he does make that block and you knock him over, you get the opportunity to chain push. What that means, you're pushing, but all the 3 squares you could push to are occupied. See that?
Okay. Yeah.
One has a prone thrower, one has a lineman with the ball, and one has a blitzer. Go... You want to do the safe stuff first, so take that black orc and stand him up 1 square to your right.
Where do I want him? Can I move him?
1 square to your right, yeah. So standing up costs 3 points of movement. He has 4, so he still had 1 left. I think this would be the perfect time to make that block I just mentioned. So your blitzer blocks the lineman behind him. Oh, this is too bad. So if this were a POW, you would be able to free up your thrower with this block. Since it's a both down... Okay, the push wouldn't knock me over. The both down would, so you pick that.
You have to start with saying that so I don't freak out over what I'm supposed to choose.
Okay. So this means your lineman, who is now your ball carrier, is still occupied.
Yeah.
You have a good way of freeing him, which is a 2-die block from the other lineman. But 2, 3, 4, 5. But that's less safe because he doesn't have blocks. So there's a chance to fail that's a bit higher. So what you want to do is you want to cover your ass first. So the black orc on your left should go 2 diagonally back towards the ball and then 1 right. See that?
Which black orc are you talking about?
Ugroth, the left one.
Okay. 2 diagonal back and 1 right.
Yes.
So there.
Yes. Because this will allow you to form a new cage out there after you've made this block. See that? Okay. I think this is a decent time to make the block with the lineman. No, not the one with the ball, the other one. Because if the one with the ball screws up, then you're also dropping the ball. This is a little bit unfortunate, but it can't be helped. Not worth re-rolling over. So you take the push. Yes. Skulls are bad. Right. This means you've got some occupied corners. And that's not ideal, but you're going to have to live with that.
Stay or follow.
Stay. So I would stick the thrower, the lineman with the ball, in the middle of that formation you just made. So no, the other one. There's one next to it.
No, that one.
Yeah, but not fire there. 9 seconds. Yeah, the timing thing is definitely an issue. Oh, good point. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so Saima is actually saying you could still cage, and that's true. The thrower would have had to move here, and the blitzer there, or the other way around.
I still can see where you're clicking.
Yeah, I know. The lineman, Budhar, would form the forward left corner, and the black orc, Gorfang, would form the back right corner. The reason I wasn't looking at that option is because it would send you further back, and I didn't really like that.
Yeah.
My plan here would be to have Varak eaten up the forward left black orc actually block you free. And then you would still be able to get your thrower to sort of help this side. So you've left me in a situation where I might be able to pull something off. but I'd have to assist from here. Yeah, I like this plan better. So it's not a super safe plan, but it does offer some perspective. Hey, that's nice. So what this block did is it both opened up this side potentially, if things go well, and it let me move in for an assist. See that? Because that blitzer is now next to your ball with no one preventing him from assisting. Because your players only assist if they are both next to the target of the block and not next to any other opponent players.
Okay.
So my next play is going to be very, very, very risky, because I'm going to do a 1 die with no block. That's bad, but that's good.
Oh.
Yeah, swearing in Swedish is definitely worse than swearing in English. So
I said seagull.
oh, okay. Do you see what I'm going to do next, Caff?
You're gonna hurt my ball carrier.
Yes.
No.
Well, not necessarily, because I'm already out of rerolls. Now, I could pick the POW push and push you between the other two guys, but I'm going to pick the both down, because right now the ball is next to a bunch of my dudes, and I'd rather have it there.
Damn it.
See that? I'd rather have it where I have control than back there where you have control, even though I might be able to steal it there too.
Yeah.
So now I go and try and secure this place as much as possible. I think I'll keep that blitzer occupied. Alright. While it's still my turn and you're not under time pressures yet, do you have any questions so far, Caff?
No.
Okay. Do you have a plan for your next turn?
No.
Okay. Would you like one?
Yes.
So you're going to want to take the ball back from me.
Yes.
And there's two very basic ways you can go about that. You can blitz with block, or you can blitz with strength 4. And in this case, you're not going to be able to get an assist on my ball carrier. Do you see that?
No.
Because there's no way you're going to wind up with a player that's next to him and not also next to one of my players.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is, instead of relying on block and 2 dice, you're going to rely on the 2 dice with strength 4. Because the strength 4 doesn't need an assist.
So I want one of my black orcs.
Yes.
Next turn.
Can you guess which one?
I would guess Urgoth.
Well, Urgoth, in order for Urgoth to blitz, you'd need to clear a room.
Oh yeah.
Right?
So I want Gorfang.
And he'd have to go 6 squares. Nope. You have another one that's really, really well suited to do this with.
Oh, the guy's sleeping.
Yes, exactly. So in order for him to get 2 dice, you'd need to prevent all of my guys from assisting. So there's 3 guys right behind Badruk for you.
Mm.
And there's 1 guy standing in front of him. The 3 guys behind are easy. Because if you stand up Gorkak, that lineman who's prone, all 3 of those are in a tackle zone, which means they're no longer assisting. So now if you look what the block would be, it would be a 1 die block. The blitz, sorry. That's because you've got strength 4, and I've got strength 3, plus 1 assist.
Yeah.
So you want to cancel that other assist from my blitzer, so that your blitz becomes strength 4.
So I want one of my dudes to kick you.
You want one of my dudes to stand next to him, so that he's no longer helpful. And Makos is the only one who can do so without rolling dice, so I would use him. to stand next to my blitzer. Not there!
Oh.
That would be bad.
Yes. Then how the fuck do I get there?
Well, you get...
am there?
No, you don't... No, just click the square behind my blitzer. Or the one where you're next to both my runner and my blitzer. Either works.
So
really.
that's there.
Yeah, but you don't have to go into the tackle zones. You don't have to assist against the lineman who has the ball. You only have to cancel the assists from the blitzer. You have to make sure that the blitzer is next to someone, because then he no longer assists against your blitz. Does that make sense?
That's your blitzer.
The guy with the block skill
I want him.
is helping against your Black Orc blitz. Yes. So if you're there, he's no longer helping because he's occupied, which means now the Black Orc has 2 dice to blitz.
Okay.
You don't want to do that yet because you still have a safe block on your right flank. So you want Morkbur to block Gaintin here. Yeah, that works. I'd take the POW push and I would follow. The reason you want to follow here is because you're less likely to block your own routes later, I think. Oh, that's actually not right at all. I screwed up. Never mind. The Black Orc Varag Eatnub, the one who's not blitzing, can just stand up.
Eatnub, where is it? There
Oh, you're right, Saima. You're absolutely right. And then the one who's lying... I think this would be an okay time for the one lying down to make a blitz. Yeah. Saima pointed out correctly that there was an error in my my plan. So you want to pick the square that's next to the least number of my elves.
Do I take the defender stumbles or the push?
What do you think? Stumbles. Yes, because you want to knock me over. So
And I wanted him.
One of the squares next to 2 of my elves, that's bad. The other square is next to 1 of my elves, that's less bad. That's the bad one.
Well, that sucks because that's the one I took.
Mm-hmm.
Follow or stay?
Follow. Definitely follow. The area where the ball is going is the one you can exert control over. Okay, couple of tricky things now. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is a very, very much tricky trade-off situation, which is kind of my fault. Your blitzer is best suited to go and get the ball, but he's also best suited to try and screen it off. I would opt to screen it off with him. So you move him forward 4 squares. Yes. The Black Orc, Urgroth, goes 1 right and 1 diagonally forward, just to keep these guys penned in, basically. Yeah. Now you're gonna have to roll some dice. Because it's probably your lineman who's going to try and get the ball. So, first the Gorfang on your right makes a block.
Oh shit, no.
Which one do you think? Good. Away from the ball would be my advice. So now the lineman 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can get there with 1 GFI. I just moved the thrower forward 1 square, to be honest. Yes. Watch the clock. So the lineman can try and go and get the ball, and I think you're going to have to. So that's GFI. Yes. And if this fails... I'm not sure. Yeah, you have 3 rerolls. You definitely reroll this. Oh. So the pickup was bad. The pickup was bad, but the bounce is quite okay for you. And if you look at where my players are, you've actually got me fairly stuck already.
Yeah. I actually do.
So I don't have a lot of mobility because Makost here is blocking my way with this blitzer, see?
Yeah.
And these can get free, but only if they go in this direction. And that's bad.
And they don't want to.
Yeah. Also, I've got 0 rerolls, and I don't have the dodge skill, which means... the reason that I didn't tell her to pick up with the thrower is because he was stuck. And I screwed up. It's kind of hard to concentrate on advice and actual strategy at the same time.
Especially when you're playing both sides.
Yeah, just a bit. Just a bit. So the good news for you is that you've got a bit more control over where the ball is right now. And that my players are stuck and I'm going to have to roll a lot of dice to get into a decent situation.
And hopefully fail.
And hopefully fail. Okay, that wasn't a failure, so that's something. I think this guy's just going to stand up. So far, so good. That's kind of annoying. Because now I need to roll even more dice. So what I did, I hoped to knock him down, and then I wouldn't have followed, and this guy could have gone through here with only a single dodge. But because I didn't knock you over, I now have to go through here, which means an extra dodge for me. See?
Mm-hmm.
So now I need to roll more dice with no reroll. But somehow I manage. This is an interesting choice for me. If I knock you onto the ball, it could go somewhere where I can reach it more easily. But it could also go somewhere where you have a ton of control. So let's... What was that?
I've seen the bouncing highlight.
Yeah, exactly. So I follow because I want control over the situation. I also murderize your player on the way there, which is not that likely with armor 9. Yeah. And the ball gets into a worse spot. So damage control. Right now this is a half die because of him. This is actually not a bad spot anyway.
That's a very bad spot. What are you doing there? You don't want to be there.
I'm basically trying to get in your way as much as I can.
In my face!
This is not very likely to work, by the way. Nope.
No. Okay.
So, still a pretty difficult situation for you, although the ball is not next to any elves right now. That's the good news. But if you look, it's always very important to keep an eye on the clock as well, because you have 3 more turns in which to score, including this one.
Yeah.
At the same time, you want to keep me from scoring, but you ideally, since you were receiving this half, you would expect to be 1-0 at the end of it. So moving bad gas forward might be a good idea, just to have someone threatening this side.
Who?
Badgask, the blitzer on your left flank.
Oh, the dude I'd totally forgotten about?
Yes, that one. Every once in a while, zooming out is good. Just 6 forward and 2 to the right or something. Yeah, that works. You have the ability to chain push again. Remember how that works?
Yeah, but I don't see where I have it.
If the Black Orc, Varag, Eatnub, blitzes Enion, my blitzer, from the square between the other two black orcs, you could chain push again. Not sure how... Yeah, I think that's pretty viable. Eatnub blitzes from the square between the other two black orcs and then hits the blitzer.
So there, and then blitz that dude.
Which dude? Yeah. Because then you can push the other blitzer away, giving you more room with the ball. Which of these is good for you now?
Both down?
No, because I have block and you do not. So both down would
sorry.
be a turnover. Yeah, good. So you push the player right behind him, my player, away diagonally. Oh, no, my player, not yours.
You said you push my player diagonally. I pushed your player diagonally.
Sorry. Yeah.
I'm doing this.
I meant the guy you're pushing me into had to be my player.
Yeah.
And then him you push diagonally away. I get how this is confusing. It's really too bad that we don't have a way we can point at stuff that you can
It's
see.
too bad we can't have unlimited turns.
That too. Yes, turn time.
Yeah. Now what?
No, don't do that.
I'm just looking.
You can still knock this free. You can still get over there. You're not going to be picking up with your thrower, though. That's a bit of a you still could. Right, the black orc, Ugroth, blocks the blitzer next to him. Yes? Ah, that's too bad. Now your thrower is definitely not picking up. Which is a bit of a problem. Push? Yes, absolutely push. Yeah. And follow. Okay. So this is a problem for more than one reason. I think you're going to have to clear a path to the ball by using the other black orc to block the guy next to him. And if you're pushing him, push him left.
Are we talking about the same Gorfang?
Badrock.
The issue is I don't know who they are and where they are.
Okay, the guy who's roughly in the middle of the pitch.
Oh, the one I didn't see.
The one you didn't see because he was behind the other guy, yes. Okay, this is a push left because you want him away from the ball.
Up or down?
Oh, for you that's up. So the problem is because you're follow, I guess. Yeah, you're in a tricky spot no matter what.
Yeah, and I have 40 seconds.
Yeah, I guess I would let the guy in the back block still. All the way in the back, Gorfang. Yeah. Just to limit my options if things go really bad. Which of these is good for you?
The one with this one.
Good. Sideways, not back, and follow. Okay, that's good. This helps a bit to prevent me capitalizing on your tricky situation. So since everything else you have is a 1 die... No, that's not true. That's not true. I screwed up. All right, you can actually get safer. Thrower blocks my blitzer.
That one?
Yep. Push is good. Away. So
just randomly away.
Fine.
Stay or follow?
Stay, and then your blitzer will block my lineman. Do it now.
Wait.
No, don't wait. Do what I say.
I don't know which one it is. Do you know what it is when you don't know who is who?
Yes.
That's why we need like 8-minute timers.
Yes, it would be very nice if you could just set it to unlimited. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Sage just teaching her why isn't she winning because she sucks.
Yeah, the compass would just confuse the hell out of me because I confuse east and west all the time. And then I'd also have to invert it because Caff has the opposite perspective from mine. I'm pretty sure that would be pretty bad. So, what do I have left? I've got no rerolls, 3 turns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and actually get the ball from you and score, which is not going to be trivial, but it's definitely possible from here. So I go here. This is going to be my blitz. Wait, why is that not... Oh, crap. Okay. So I want to roll 2 dice. And that's helpful.
Knock me onto the ball.
No. If I knocked you onto the ball there, actually knocking you straight back would have been more sensible. That way, if this is a push, I'm not forced to keep him next to the ball. So yeah, I'm punished for my my fast decision.
Oh, take my dudes. Nej, kilo.
If we make this, then I'll want to wind up there. Let's see how this works. It doesn't.
Don't block on the keyboard.
So this is a fine spot. The campaign infinite timer is certainly useful, except it's the campaign and it sucks because it doesn't teach you anything. I mean, if the campaign had been a good tutorial, it would have been fine. So, Caff, you've got 2 turns. You don't have anyone in touchdown range now. You do still have to worry about the potential for my touchdown, especially because the ball is surrounded by elves. First thing I do is I'd move that black orc forward 4 squares. Obviously not in a straight line, but that's where he'll wind up. I don't know.
Black orc, which one?
The Gorfan would go forward 4 squares forward. Yeah, exactly. Because at least he's in the thick of it and he's helping you control the situation. Now, where can you influence things the most? It's not pretty, that's for sure. Not getting that. Yeah, you could try and knock one of my guys onto the ball and hope that that helps. Probably I'd start with moving the lineman around back so that he's Gorkak, splendid name, the guy in the middle, so that he's next to Cam Hill.
No, I just have to find Camp Hill. Is that one of you or your guys?
Yes.
Yes. So there.
Yeah, it's fine.
Or.
Yeah, if you're gonna spend that long on the decisions, it's not going to work, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well.
I know. So punch with Bedrock to your right. No, yeah. Which one's good?
This one, because I don't have block.
Exactly. Oh, I said to your right, but okay. So that complicates matters.
You meant the other dude.
Yes, that's the one you were blocking.
Yeah. No! But now Camhill is dead at least.
That's something, yeah. But this complicates matters a fair bit, actually. Because now you're not going to get the 2 dice you wanted without blitzing.
Right.
The Black Orc blitzes by going forward, diagonally right, and then right backward, I guess.
You have to tell me which one.
The
Agra
one that can
or...
move. Varag.
I can move. Yeah, so diagonally.
So you blitz Rinbean.
Where the fuck? Oh, Rinbean is up here.
Yeah, like that. Because that lets you punch near where the elves. Well.
Reroll?
Tricky. I suppose you could. Oh, that's sweet. Cuthbert just gave you a cookie.
Oh, thank you. And then push her
take
stumble.
the knockdown. Definitely the knockdown. That's what you're doing this for.
And I can only push you there. Say or follow?
Follow, certainly. Because you want his assist for the next block, which hopefully is going to free up the ball a little.
Let me guess, that will be bad hard.
You want to stand up Macost, by the way. He's not going to run anywhere anyway. That's the blitzer up front.
Yeah, I'm standing him up.
Yeah. So, this would be the time for the 2-die block from your lineman against my blitzer. Yes. And that's good. Which of these is good for you?
The yellow one.
Yes, pick the yellow one. Generally good advice in this game. Okay.
Oh, I can push you onto the ball.
That's exactly why you're doing this, because the ball is in 3 tackle zones. And you want to go and get it.
Where did it go? Oh, no! You could have got it.
Tricky thing here is, of course, that if you do not manage to save it, I might still score. You want your thrower to dodge out to your right back. Yes.
Just there.
Yeah. You can still move afterwards. Okay.
14
2,
seconds.
3, 4. Go forward as much as you can, so next to the Black Orc. And I think one more is good here. Yes, there. Okay, your
4
blitzer is
seconds.
your blitzer is going to dodge and run. The forward one, dodge and run.
Dodge and
that's
run where?
into a place where you can still score with him.
Well,
4 minutes is not a lot.
Cyanide, give me turns that aren't timed.
Yeah, I know.
Good tutorial.
Yeah, either or would be fine, really.
Yeah, really.
This one might still score, I suppose. Tricky.
I'm gonna need a 5-minute break in halftime. Just
That's
saying.
okay. Yeah, I thought you might. That's all right. We're we're not exactly making a ton of progress in terms of game per time. Okay. You see what your thrower could do now? Yeah, that's good.
I can surf here, dude.
Very, very good. Someone's been paying attention. So this guy can pass. And I guess I just pass straight there. Oh, that's the tackle zone. Whoops. No, well, that's a premature ending to what could have been a fun turn.
schmuck.
Okay. I think this would be an excellent time to explain surfing. Although, to be honest, you kind of really want to score here. I can't score without chain pushing from this situation, which is perfect for you. So let's see if we can... Yeah. And the easiest way to score would be for your thrower to actually get the ball to the only player who can score. Do you know who that is?
That will be Marcos.
Yes. So first thing to do is take Bad Gask and block so that Marcos is no longer in a tackle zone. Because if Marcos has to catch the ball in the tackle zone, he needs to roll 4+, and that's bad. So now he only needs to roll a 3+ to catch. That's good. So I think what I would do is I would save my my blitz action to free up the thrower. So first let's see whether you can knock Gaithrin away from the ball. So you bring in an assist. Gorka could do that.
No, that's Gorfang.
Yeah, the names are awful. Naming your own players actually does help against the confusion.
So where do I put him?
Next to both the ball. No. 3 squares to your right. Because then you prevent getting in your own way a little, I think, if I'm reading this right. The other lineman can block the one next to the ball. Okay, that's good. You really needed this. Don't knock me onto the ball.
Push her the other one.
So
Defender
pow,
down, right?
Defender down, yes. And do the diagonal one. Because that leaves the most room for you to maneuver.
Stay.
I
stayed.
Yeah, going would have been a lot better, actually. Because you would be able to get out on your own way. This just means an extra block here and there.
You can't think that slow. You have to think faster.
I have to think faster and talk less, yes. So you want to blitz the lineman on your right. Because you want the thrower to be free to do a funky pass.
Your lineman on the right, that is.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could do so with a single GFI, as long as you move Varag. So, take Varag Eaten Up, the black orc, the right of the 2 black orcs that are next to each other, and just get him out of the way. Just move him back 2 and left 1. But around the outside, yes, exactly. So now your blitzer, Morkber, can blitz with a single GFI, which is about as good as you're going to get the ball free.
Sorry, my cat stood on my... Now I can see. My blitzer.
Yes. The blitzer... yeah, Slumpoop is saying pause the game because it's an important turn. And that's a very good good explanation, actually. It's not irrelevant what she does because she has a player in scoring range, Seed. I cannot score without chain pushing, but Caff can still score, which is why it is actually an important turn. So, unfortunately, during a pause, you can't look at the game state because that would allow people to use it to get longer turns, which is actually what we want, but okay. So, your blitzer can blitz the guy preventing you from getting to the ball. You get 2 dice, and you need only a single GFI. That works, right?
Which one is my blitz? It's so dumb that I can't see.
The one with the block icon over its head.
Yeah, that I can't see because we're paused.
Yes. He's going to blitz, hopefully knock down my guy. And then what your thrower is going to do is he's going to walk forward. And then diagonally left to get as close to your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As close to your blitzer as possible so that you can pass the ball to him. Make sense?
So, yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right. So the blitzer is Morkbur, the one with the block icon. You just got out of his way.
Yeah, and I want him to blitz
The guy standing next to your thrower.
him.
Yes. You see that you only need a single GFI to get there, so that's a pretty decent plan. This is not a great result. I wouldn't spend my reroll on it, I think. So you're just going to have to accept that you're going to roll a dodge. Take the push. Alright. None of the dice you have left to roll. No.
No, please.
None of the dice you have left to roll are going to be more important or more safe. So I would just go thrower dodges and grabs the ball. Let's hope you make those at least. Yeah, the dodge is good and the pickup's good. Now what you'll see is when you have the thrower selected, you see these colors on all the other players of yours.
Yeah.
You see these rotating icons.
Yeah.
They indicate the length of your pass. So the ones that have a white thingy rotating are a quick pass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god! Run forward, diagonally 3. Why is the timer so far? Diagonally 3? Diagonal, diagonal. No.
Yeah, but
okay.
it was diagonal.
Okay. Pass by hitting the blitzer that... Yes. Ah.
And I fucked it.
I thought we had a lot more time when I paused.
Yeah, we don't. We had 1 minute left when you paused.
Well, whoops.
Tell me I have to keep an eye on the clock.
Well, you do. Because I already have to do 2 turns at once and talking. Right. You're not scoring because your time is up.
Can you score from there?
In theory, so there's this guy, right, Gainton. He can get up to there. I could score if I managed to blitz him here. Sorry. There. Because then I could chain push myself forward. See that?
Yeah, you can try it.
The problem is, how am I going to also get the ball to where it needs to go? Because this is the easy part. Because this guy could get there, this guy could get there. That doesn't help much. Whoops. So yeah, this is theoretically possible, right? And I bet that someone on YouTube at some point is going to tell us just how hard it is, because I need to get this ball.
That looks good. Do it.
So we can certainly do better by starting off here, right?
There's at least one that's green.
Yeah, there's a couple green ones. They're the GFIs and the dodge. So yeah, this is not very likely to work.
No.
All right. So, I'll try and keep a slightly closer eye on the time, and I think we could both do it with a quick break. Welcome back to the Sage and Caff streaming Blood Bowl 2.
Yelling at Blood Bowl 2.
Yes, that too. Hi guys. So, to those of you who tuned in during the break, this is where we struggled through short turn timers and I try to teach Caff despite some limitations in the game. Caff is playing as Orcs. She has had a partially successful first half because she removed 3 of my players, and all of them are either permanently broken or dead, which is nice, except it's a friendly, so it doesn't matter. And she has 1 player missing, I believe, and in the second half, she has to try and prevent me from scoring, and ideally score herself. Also, also Mischief Onyxia Nutsack fucking cat. Loves attention, like her mommy.
Yeah. You like your mommy.
Who has taken off her glasses?
Yeah, she had to because she was about to throw them across the room.
So, normally with orcs, you could choose to defend and set up in a very central way and try and allow the opponent to score quickly. In this case, because you didn't score in the first half, you really don't want to allow me to score quickly, because that would be bad for you. Because then, at best, you would be tying, and as you've seen, hurrying up is not the Orcs' forte. So if I score in 2 turns, then you'd still have 7. If I score in 3 turns, you still have 6. And that might be too short, since 8 wasn't enough last time.
Shush.
Right?
It would have been if I understood what you meant.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, the thing is, explaining basics just takes a little bit longer than the usual explaining strategies to someone who already knows the game a fair bit. So we're just going to consider this an experiment, which I mean, it's not going to be ideal YouTube tutorial material per se, but it still should be instructional. And I hope at least it helps you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very least, people should be entertained by our shared frustrations, right? That's something. Entertainment's good. So, when I unpause, you unpause. Well, actually, I can, because griefing is the thing. When we unpause, you're going to be allowed to set up your squad.
Yeah.
You'll be kicking the ball to me. I'll have the first turn. And you'll have to set up first, and then I get to respond to that. And Kumo asked whether it would be more sensible in this case to go with linemen on the line of scrimmage or black orcs. And this is a bit of a tricky thing, because your black orcs are far more valuable, and however, they're also stronger and harder to knock down. And in this case, I think I would go for the black orcs on the line, because if you encourage me to try and knock them down, you're basically forcing me to get stuck in the center, which is really not something I want to do. Okay. So by putting your strength on the line, you're basically encouraging me to not knock you over at all, but rather to disengage, which means your orcs already protect that center without having to do anything, and will be free to move around. If you're playing against anything that has a little bit of bash power or a lot of strength, so something that could probably take you on in a fight, you definitely do not want those black orcs in the center. You want them safer, and you want the linemen up front because they're expendable.
Okay.
So, because I don't have much bash power, and because I don't want to get into a fight, I think in your situation, putting the 3 black orcs in the center makes the most sense.
Where do I put the 4th?
That's a good question. You could either pick a flank or keep him in the middle.
The middle back, then.
Yeah, just like 2 or 3 squares behind the center guys. You are missing 1 player, which costs a bit of ability to defend. You could even choose to keep a lineman in the middle, flanked by the 2 orcs, and then you would place the other 2 black orcs just a little bit behind that. I think that works. So currently you have a lineman in the middle flanked by 2 black orcs. And punching the guy in the middle is also not going to do much for me because I can't get an assist on him.
No.
So what you then do is take the 2 black orcs that are not on the line of scrimmage or not in the center, and just take them like 1 square back from where they are right now. That already works.
Okay, and where do I put my blitzers?
I would put them diagonally behind those 2 black orcs that you just moved back.
Okay. Out or in? Or one of them on each side?
Both diagonally in.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Or maybe make one of those the thrower, because he's... So the orcs have armor 9 on every player except for the thrower.
My thrower is out, right? No, he isn't. He's right there.
No. So then you'd leave the thrower and a... Well, you're missing a blitzer, aren't you? Yeah.
Yep. I have 3.
Yeah, that makes the defense a bit trickier. Oh, you still have... Yeah, so what I would do probably is I'd put the thrower and the blitzer on those diagonal spots behind the black orcs you're moving, and then leave the leave the remaining 2 blitzers to cover the flanks a little bit.
Okay, so I can leave the other 2 blitzers where they are.
No, I'd move them diagonally inward back 1 square. Maybe even 1 square back from that.
Okay, I'm unpausing to see if I got
Good.
this right.
Yeah. 4 minutes for setup
yeah.
should probably be alright, especially considering you've already received your instructions without a timer. That works too.
Or is that too far?
Yeah, I think I might go 1. Yeah. So this is a bit tricky because there is a kickoff event that allows me to move all my players 1 square, but you are making it even harder for me to engage that center. Yeah, that thrower is in the right spot.
Then I want that dude there.
Mm-hmm.
And that one there?
Yeah, this is not bad. This is not bad. Yeah, I'd leave the lineman on that outside, and keep a blitzer in the center. Now I'd make sure that you still have a blitzer on either side, because right now you have 2 blitzers on one side and none on the other. So yeah, that's fine too. Actually, this might be better because I can blitz a blitzer anyway. So you keep Makos. I would put him. No, this is fine. Dark Elves aren't that fast. I mean, I will be able to get... I think what I do is I put the 2 blitzers on the flanks and take them back with single square at least. Because if I create a formation behind you, you want to be able to respond to that and get in my way a bit more if you can.
Mm.
Something
So
like this
okay.
works okay-ish. Yes, Saima, Black Orcs on the line because she wants me to not commit there.
I'm confirming setup.
Well, I think this works. This works well enough. Yeah, in this case, because I've only got 8 players, I could choose to go and say I'm gonna knock the line of scrimmage down, but I'd need to bring in so many assists that I would worry about how much I'm able to do, right? Because I'd have to go here and here. Oh, sorry. Caff, game's over here.
Yeah, but my cat is doing something.
So I could start explaining stuff again here, but since she's not actually listening, that doesn't help. Welcome back.
Apparently my cat did not appreciate having a book in her shark. Who would have thunk?
So if I wanted to knock down your line of scrimmage, I would have to start off by moving this guy, Rhiannuth, and then moving him there, but then further into your half so that I would get 2 dice. Then I'd get another block and another. But by that time, I would have already used 4 of my players and committed a lot to this position, right?
Yes.
So, this is this would mean that I would basically get my entire team stuck in the center and have very little flexibility on where to go. And that's kind of what you want.
Yes.
That's not what I want.
No.
So instead, I'm going to choose not to get stuck on your line of scrimmage at all. I'm not going to fight these guys. I'm just going to position like this. And I'm going to shoot for a quick touchdown across the flank that does not have the thrower, because that makes more sense. So now we have something like that. It might become relevant this half that the Dark Elf runner has 1 skill, and it's called Dump Off. It's a skill I would never recommend picking on a player, but since I start with it and I had 10k left, I start with 1. This roster that I have right now is a good roster for rookie coaches. It's not the starting roster I would recommend on Dark Elves for experienced coaches. Because right now I don't have a Witch Elf, which makes things easier for learning, but I do have a runner, which is not actually all that great. Dump Off allows me, if you're blocking me and I'm holding the ball, it allows me to make a quick pass with him during your turn, which means it's a bit harder to sack the ball for me.
Yes.
So I guess something like this is probably alright. So I've picked my flank. I've secured this side a little bit. So because I have so few players, I cannot set up in a way that's really safe against the blitz and effective to go forward. So, this is going to be my setup. And when you're looking at my setup right now, you can already see that I'm pushing for a quick touchdown. And that would be the sensible thing to do. Aim the ball right on my runner, because if do you see the arrows and where it might go?
Yep.
Those are the squares the ball might land in. And you don't want the ball to go out, because then I get to put it in someone's hands.
I'm shooting it right at his face.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Because the direction it goes in is random, and the distance it goes in is random as well. So what you saw, there was another kickoff event. It's called Weather Change, and the weather changed into something different. It is now a blizzard. What that means? 2 things. The first one is most important. To use a going for it, I and you now need to roll a 3 or higher rather than a 2 or higher. So running a bit extra becomes a lot more risky now.
Okay.
The other thing is that we're not allowed to pass the ball more than 6 squares. So it doesn't get harder to pass, but longer passes are just impossible.
Because you're throwing them into a freaking blizzard.
A freaking blizzard. That's right. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're gonna blitz here. That's convenient.
Oh!
That's just par for the course, really. And I'm going to set up a guy there as a scoring threat, so you're going to have to deal with that in some way. Now, the game is going to be pretty spread out, because the ball went deep, so if I go and get it, I can still walk here, but no further, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I already want to figure out, okay, how far can I run with that ball? What can I accomplish there? How do I prevent you from getting in my way too much? So I'm just going to go and stand around here. And obviously this guy needs to dodge to even get away. So let's start off grabbing the ball. That worked just enough. Here will do just fine. And this guy's going to dodge away. Obviously, if I went here, it would be difficult, right? So first I go straight back, and then I go there. The reason I'm placing these guys with 2 squares between them, can you figure that out?
It's because of the tackle zones.
Exactly.
Cover the tackle zones.
Yeah. So I'm using only 4 players, but I'm preventing you from moving through one. So that's 12 squares.
Yeah.
Because each player blocks his own square plus the 2 next to it, and because their tackle zones touch, you create a big range of places where you can't really run through, while still keeping them spread out. So that if I decide I want to change sides, say that you focus entirely on the guys that are on your right. You blitz the guy out back, and you get in front of the guys in the middle. Then the guys on your left would actually be free to go and do stuff for changing direction. The downside, of course, is that now if you blitz one of the guys in the middle, you're going to be able to power straight through and threaten my ball. But that would leave the guys who are in your backfield kind of exposed and able to run forward. Or, sorry, not exposed, unmarked, and able to go do stuff.
Yeah.
Make sense so far?
Yep.
You'll also notice my runner has movement 7.
Yes.
And he's now 7 squares, or 8 squares behind those 4 guys. Which means that by simply walking forward, he can reach any of those 4 without GFIing and hand off.
Yeah.
That's deliberate, because that means if one of those 4 is unmarked in my turn, I can walk to him, hand him the ball, and he can still pass. Because you're allowed to do the handoff thing once per turn, and you're allowed to do the pass thing once per turn.
Okay.
Which means I can walk over, hand him the ball, have him walk forward, and pass the ball to someone else, and then have him walk forward. If you're able to do all of that in one turn, it's a lot of die rolling, but elves do it fairly easily. That's a lot of distance you can cover.
Yeah.
So you'll want to both prevent me from getting that easily, and you'll want to prevent that clump of players that moved into your side of the pitch from catching the ball and running with it.
Yeah. Okay. So.
First order of business. Where do you plan to be blitzing?
Probably. I would like to say the dudes in my back.
Yeah, I agree. Because I'm quite strongly focused there.
Mm-hmm.
You can get...
Sorry.
Yes. Do you need a moment?
No, I'm fine.
Thanks, Manush. Yes, I did see that before. Your lineman, Badhar, can walk 5 squares backwards around my dudes and actually just get an assist against Menmare. See that?
So there?
Nope, no, the other way.
Up it. Oh.
You're going to blitz the guy furthest towards your end, and he's going to assist that. See that?
So I put him there?
He can reach that corner. He can exactly reach that corner.
No, don't blitz. Man, leg off.
There. Yes, very good. The blitzer who's prone can just stand up. He's doing a great job already. The tricky thing is you'll want to make sure that the other guys don't just get free too easily. What I would do is I would stick my 3 black orcs on the 3 guys on your right of the middle 3. So the Badruk goes and marks the guy who's closest to the center.
In this cluster?
No. Of the line of 4 dudes who are... Yeah.
Okay, where do I put him?
Right in front of the dude works.
So just one forward.
Whoa, wait. You use Virag to get on the blitzer.
Lineman, blitzer. Do I want to? No, I don't want to punch him. All right.
No, just stand in front of him.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want all of these dudes to be marked in a way that's not easy to fix. You put Urgroth next to the next lineman. And then you put Badruk next to the next lineman. Yes. Now, the last remaining lineman kind of needs 2 friends because you don't have strength 4. So I put the thrower and the flanking blitzer on him. Make sure that the blitzer is on the diagonal square on the outside. So basically move them both forward until they're in a tackle zone. Yes? Okay. The remaining Black Orc could go and stick into the squad. So just one from the side is okay.
What?
If so, you want to keep the guys occupied. So 2 squares diagonally backwards, so that you're next to that dude. It is a bit of a surfing threat, but that's not something I would commit to.
Oh, you're talking about there.
Yeah, but straight. Yeah. And then the
Blitz.
your Discord did the thing. Blitz first, fix it later. Yes, good. The knockdown is good.
Defender stumbles, both down. Which one is knocked down?
Which one do you think? Both
I
down
have block.
wouldn't knock me over, because I have block too. So pick the stumbles.
Okay.
Good.
Straight back or diagonally?
Straight back, definitely. And I would follow as well. Oh, this is very, very convenient. So, you've got that your right flank very much under control. Your left is a bit more open. I would just move the lineman a couple of squares back and to your left. 1 left, maybe, and 3 back or something. The last remaining player. Yeah. So now what you accomplish, that's 4, but that's fine. What you now accomplish is that the area where you have the least control, at least you have some kind of backup there if I choose to go that way. Make sense?
Okay. Yep.
Alright. So you've got me in a pretty nasty situation. At least you don't have any direct hit on the ball right now. But you see my my blitzer in your backfield? YOLO?
Yep.
He's kind of stuck. Because he cannot dodge without going into a tackle zone, which means his life got difficult.
Yep.
The other lineman there, Rianioth, if I don't save him before I suffer a turnover, you're going to surf him.
Yeah.
That is bad for his life expectancy, but also it means I'll have more trouble scoring because I'll be down on players. So getting him out is a top priority, and that's what I'm starting with. Yeah, here we'll do. So at least that worked. Now, because you've got these lovely black orcs doing their thing, it's actually pretty hard for me to get a decent blitz going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And because of the snow, I'm also less inclined to actually try and make a GFI, which kind of sucks all around, really. So we're going down this way anyway. And we're trying to clear some room. Get some alternatives. So, here again, I have block and you do not. Which means the both down is now a good result for me. Yes? So I pick that one, knock you down.
Ah.
That helps a little. And now I'm moving back here. The reason I'm doing this is because I want multiple options to hand off to. I don't want to have to rely on a single guy, because you could make that impossible. Right? And if I were standing here, you could keep both of these busy with a single player. And by being here, you require more than one player to keep them busy. So it's basically a resource management thing. Same logic applies here, I suppose. So if I were to move even a single square forward, your blitzer on your left flank would still be able to hit my ball carrier, right? Do you see that? If you select your blitzer, you see the range he's got?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want to do that, because that's bad. I could, however, go somewhere like here. Because from that spot, your black orc... Well, maybe one back. Counting is hard. In this spot, your black orc couldn't blitz me. The other black orc couldn't blitz me. The thrower couldn't blitz me. And the blitzer couldn't. If you select all of them, you see that I'm just outside all of their ranges.
Yeah.
So, what I'm basically trying to do, if you take a more larger meta perspective, is I'm trying to spread out the game and make sure I'm not too stuck in one place.
Yeah.
If I had 3 rerolls, I might be tempted for this one, but with 2, it's a bit sucky.
So.
Would you like to do a pretty funky surf play? Does that sound like fun? Because my blitzer, who is 3 squares away from the side, is surfable. It's a puzzle. Do you like puzzles?
I get my blitzer there, just behind your blitzer. I get my other blitzer, the one downwards, behind him, and then I put my black orc right by the sideline, and then we push it.
I have no idea what you just said. Right. First, let's do safe stuff.
Take him. Okay. Safe stuff first.
Stand up the black orc who's prone and next to a guy. Get back next to the blitzer who's currently standing there with the other black orc. I'd go with the diagonally in front of him, because then you're screening off the side more. So he just goes forward a single square. Varag.
What? Varag?
Yeah. Because if he goes... If Virago stands right in front of my blitzer has an easier way of getting around to him. Yeah. Because now those 2 black orcs are kind of helping each other out with keeping this area secure.
Yeah. These guys are standing over here being cute, not doing shit.
Yeah, you'll want at least one of them next to the prone guy. The blitzer is fine, really. Why don't you put the blitzer... One diagonally forward from there, so that he threatens the flank a bit more. No, forward. So 3 squares in that direction. See that? Because then he can threaten where the ball is now if I should choose to stay. It's a bit more dangerous for me in the backfield.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Very good.
2 minutes?
Yes. Move your thrower 1 to the right, so that when the black orc has moved, this guy, Gainton, can no longer get out on 2+.
Yep.
And you'll definitely want your remaining lineman, Gorkak, to mark Rhinian here.
So just 1...
Yeah, I'd go 1 further back from that. No, back. Not forward, back.
That's my forward.
All right. Now we're going to try the funky surf play. How you do this is you want him to move to your right with every blitz or block. Which means you're going to start off with the blitz, because right now you can't block him to your right. See that? So Badar blitzes and pushes him 1 square right. No. 1 square. This actually also works. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
In this case, the push results are suddenly the desirable ones. So this is bad because you knock me over, which means your surf doesn't work. I wouldn't reroll for that. I wouldn't. But if you want the instruction, then yes. Yeah, this push is good. You take him to your right.
Up there?
Well, you have only one right side. Yes.
Follow,
you don't need to follow. And in this case I wouldn't, because you want to also mark the guy in the back. So now that you've done blitzing, you can move and mark Rienoth here.
Oh, yeah. Where to, like there?
No, the guy in the back. The guy in the back. There's another guy behind him.
Oh, yeah, there is. Sorry, fuck.
Okay, no worries.
I'm stunning you there.
Okay.
We got 30 seconds to do this.
The inner blitzer can block and wants a push. Good. You push him your way, not my way, so that the other blitzer can also block him.
So there?
Mm-hmm. Now
Follow
you should
stay.
be able to... I stay. Do you see the surf now? You want to push here, ideally? Yay! You don't need to... No! You
Let
killed
me
the
try
surf!
this, okay? No? Let me try this.
So, in order to surf, you need to have all the squares you could push to be either occupied or in the crowd. This is good learning. It's okay. The thing is, because you have a square that you're allowed to push him into, then it's not a surf. But if you had pushed him right next to him, it would have been possible.
Well.
But it's good for learning, because now you show how surf does work and how it doesn't work.
Yeah. I thought I could just push him out.
I know, which is why it's good for learning. All right.
Okay, well, now we know.
So, this is scary. Let's give you a shot. I kind of like it.
I have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm thinking of making this a little bit more fun for you.
Okay. Hey, are you surfing me now?
I hope so. So, this is actually interesting. This is our first red die. There's 2 dice again, but you're stronger.
So I get to choose.
Yes. That's bad, because the skull is bad for me, and if you choose the skull, I get the skull. So I re-roll it, and this time there's no skull. So now you get to choose which of these POWs happens. And I choose not to follow up, because that's a dangerous spot.
Ow, that hurt.
Yeah, the thing about surfing is, it's especially good against high armor targets, because you don't roll for armor. If you look at the dice log at the bottom, you'll see that there's a straight injury roll.
Dumb question.
No. I meant,
that's because you were like you were sleeping in the back there.
Exactly. So normally I would push you onto my dude, but because he was lying in the way, that square was occupied, and suddenly you went into the crowd instead.
Okay.
So this is kind of scary. This isn't really. Let's get here. Damn it, Caff, why do you have to be so in the way all the time? It's almost like you're positioning. So yeah, it was actually a very good question. And what's even better is that you answered it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Smart like that.
Yes, you are. So, 2, 4, 6, 7 dudes for me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 dudes for you. Nah. Okay, since you have the time to think now before before you have to actually do stuff.
I just want to kill you. Well, not you, but your dudes. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. You also definitely want to prevent me from scoring. If you wind up with a draw in this game, it's really not bad. But if you give me a good opportunity to score, then that would really, really suck for you.
Okay, so what do I do?
Your biggest problem right now is Rhiannuth in the backfield, because he's the one who can score easily. But I wouldn't go and blitz him. So what you can do is you can move Gorkak to get in front of him diagonally, so that he can't dodge further towards the side. And then the other lineman can't quite get there, but the blitzer can. So I would give him the 2 players who can reach him easily as friends. And then I would allow the lineman and the other blitzer to stick with Rinbean there.
Which blitzer? Marcus or Merkbear? Marcus stays.
Merkbear is the only blitzer who can mark the scoring threat.
Yeah.
So he's the one who goes over there. And then Badar and Makost can go be friends with Rinbean.
Okay, yeah.
That leaves you with 5 dudes in the center, one of which is marked.
Yes.
So the marked guy is just going to block with an assist. And I think one of the Black Orcs is going to blitz my blitzer.
Okay, let's start with what we said first, okay?
Yes, that sounds like a plan.
Gorkak on the diagonal from your alignment.
No, in that diagonal, I would still be able to dodge away from you. Because Gorkak can actually reach the other diagonal. See that?
There.
But without dodging, please. You can do the diagonals, or just click the square you want to go to. That doesn't always work, because Cyanide's not very good at distances, but this is actually the right way. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, he's there.
Yeah, if I were you, I want him to have 2 friends, because that makes scoring a lot harder for me.
So do I move Badhar up there as well?
He can't reach.
No, I can't. He's too far away.
Because he's movement 5, but Morkber is actually movement 6.
So I can get him, like, there.
Yeah, that works. That's fine. So you'll definitely want to get a guy 1 square next to my prone blitzer, because that makes my life a lot harder.
Do I use my blitzer or my lineman for that?
I'd use the blitzer for that.
So just a step forward?
To the side.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was facing that way. So.
Yes, please don't use his facing. That's just going to make things more confusing. Right, the other guy needs a friend too. Rinbean needs a friend too, and your alignment in the back is the perfect guy to do it.
So.
And I would just put him right next to him.
There?
Yes.
There we go. That's that. Okay, now the Black Orcs.
Yeah. One of them is going to be blitzing the exposed blitzer. One of them is probably going. Yeah. One of them is probably going to run up to Gainthrin, my lineman, which means the thrower is the best player to assist the block with that you're going to do. See
and
that?
I'm blocking your blitzer.
Well, you're blitzing that, but later, because the block you have with your blitzer is 2 dice with block, and that's safer, right? So I take your thrower to assist that, because then you have your black orc to get next to... Ooh, that's not the right way to go. This works, but it leaves your left a bit more open. That works splendidly. The good news about this block is, if it turns into a push, you can still block with the other, with the black orc.
Where am I putting Badrook?
Nowhere yet, because if this block is a push, you want him to do the block.
So I'm using my blitzer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. In this case, the both down actually is really not bad.
Since I have block and you don't.
Yes. This allows the Badrook to mark the lineman Gainthrin. See that?
Where is Gator? Oh yeah, he's over there.
Yeah,
So
just
if
stand right in front of him. That way
There?
he... Yeah, oh yeah, but without the dodge.
Yeah. 44 seconds.
Alright. So you've got a couple of things left to do. You'll want to blitz the blitzer, and the guy on your right flank would use his fourth movement for that, which is perfect, because that leaves the Ugroth to respond to what's happening, who's in the center,
Okay,
so that's good.
Blitzing now.
Yes, with Varag. Yeah, works fine. Okay, that's a good list. I would put him straight forward, because then if you follow, you make it so that I have a harder time dodging out again. See that?
Yep. There we go.
Not that I'm dodging on this turn, because you just broke my armor. There's one guy who can dodge out really easily. Or actually, there's two.
11 seconds. Just tell me what to do.
Go stand diagonally next to Gaintin, where he would dodge if he could.
Diagonally?
prone
How
guy.
the fuck should I get him up there?
There's 4 diagonals.
Okay.
Pick the one that's relevant.
Yeah, I couldn't get that far.
It's okay. It's okay. You're just still doing great. You're doing a bit too great. Do worse. Yeah, this snow is killing me. So this is a 3+ pass. Ah, fuck it. Easy, right? See, because of where you stood, he couldn't dodge out on a 2+, he needed a 3+. Not that it matters when you roll Snake Eyes, but still. So this means you now have a very, very real shot at this game. This is kind of a GG moment, really.
Okay.
Forget about the guys in the back right now, because they're already stuck.
Yeah.
Before you start actually working on knocking the ball down, which you really will want to do, I would make sure that the two guys, the two prone guys are marked by the same black orc. That's Ugroth.
So put him there.
Yes. Let me answer Alar's question real quick. The reason I didn't move the baller is because he was going to make a pass after the blitz to Rinbean here. So, you have a simple 2-die blitz on the ball right now. If you make that, I could dump off.
Wait, what? I have a simple...
You have a simple 2-die block blitz on the ball, if you want it. But since I would be allowed to dump off, normally that would be kind of bad, but you've already got 2 guys on me, so I would just take it. So the only assist you can easily get that's a good idea is not from the thrower, because you want him to try the pickup maybe, and you want to blitz with the blitzer because he has block, which means you have 1 player left that can do the assist.
No.
Yeah. Yes, but not there.
with me in.
That's a good spot, yes. This means now that that place is occupied, there's only one place you can blitz from without having to make a GFI.
Why do I have to go that way? Can I go
You
there?
don't? Well, not with him, because he's in a tackle zone. Use the blitzer.
Just tell me who to use. Yeah, I was trying to use the blitzer. Who the fuck was I?
The blitzer's the one that has
That's the
block.
blitzer.
Yeah.
Sorry,
The one with the claws on. Yeah. See that? Now you've got 2 dice with block. And I know I'm probably going down, and this might not be a very bright idea, but it's fun to show the mechanic. So dump off allows me to make a pass. And this shows a bunch of mechanics, because now I get to make a quick pass. So 3 squares. But because I'm in 2 tackle zones, the pass actually gets harder, so this will be a 4+. And I'd have to catch it on the 3. And there's the other mechanic. Because my pass goes over your guys, you actually have a chance to intercept the ball. So I choose the pass. Now I would pick the blitzer for this because he's faster and he can run with the ball. So click the blitzer, and then he gets to try to catch the ball that I throw. You need a 6, so it's not very likely.
What? Team reroll or not?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. It's a 6+ intercepts. That's
And
cheeky.
you got it in there.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, because that guy you just I just passed to, he's next to your orc, so you can still kill him too. See that? Actually, I moved the ball. I moved the ball. Yeah, I actually just moved the ball closer to your thrower.
Yeah.
So, no more movement for him, because that would be dangerous. Can you guess your next move? Very good. This I would reroll, because you want that guy down on the ground. If you had to pick a direction, which one would make sense to you?
This one.
Yeah, exactly, because that's where their thrower is, and it's also where you're better at preventing my influence. So, if you follow, you're closer to where the ball might wind up. So that's good. More control over the area where the ball is. In this case, it doesn't matter.
Because he
Now
has
what-
it, and he has already done all his things.
What I would do, basically, you've got the ball. You're in position to score. This is awesome. You're super happy. The only thing that might still ruin your plan is the guy currently next to the ball. So after you've done a bunch of safe stuff, which is the blocks in the back, I would foul that dude with the thrower. So you have a 2-die block with block skill right now in the back. See that?
Yeah.
Make
Wait,
it.
what? You mean with this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that didn't work. Put him next to the other dude so that you can hit him again. Good. If you follow, you get an assist. If you don't follow, then you don't get an assist, so you do. The other block also requires an assist, so I move him 1 square. Oh, well, that works. Just make sure he's next to 2 dudes. So you follow and you put him next to the other one. It doesn't really matter much which way.
Oh shit!
Sure.
I pressed the wrong one. Oh well.
No, you're doing fine.
Okay.
You have another 2-die block, but you'll need to bring in an assist, right? See that? Nah, true, Shattered Ice. I guess so. She did already... Actually, this is a good point from Shattered Ice. And it's very well illustrated.
Yeah, I should have done that with the blitzer instead. I should have.
No, you couldn't. The thing is, Shattered Ice was saying, and he was right, that block wasn't relevant enough for the game to be worth the risk.
Okay.
Because it's there's a 1 in 9 chance that it's a turnover, and you needed that foul more than you needed that block. So Shattered Ice was actually right in his feedback saying, just don't go for that at all, but go for the foul instead. Because now I can go dodge out and punch here. Hey, Sam. CaffeinPrincess is a mod and a very active community member who has
Doesn't know the game.
not yet learned Blood Bowl. And so this is a good opportunity for some entry-level learning experience.
Yeah. Get on your butt.
So, good news for you. You get to try again.
Now we do it all again.
Well, you don't have to do that much. What you would want to do is get into a situation. So the thing is, the most important thing you're going to do is try to pick up. But you can do that more safely than you can now if you prioritize well.
Okay, so how do I prioritize?
You want tackle zones on the ball. And ideally, those same tackle zones also help your cage. And the easiest way to do that is to bring... Well, if you do that, then you can't really surround it all that well. Because if you cage there, then you still have my dude next to your ball carrier. So you're going to make your cage a little bit bigger. Which means the guy next to the ball, my prone guy, will be flanked on both sides by one of your players.
Tell me who to put where.
No, but I want you to understand why, because that's helpful.
Yes, but if you tell me who to put where, I can see what I'm doing.
Pretend you're making your cage one square longer, so that both the ball and the square behind it are in your cage. See what I mean? So alright, let's do it the other way and then I'll explain why.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Your blitzer goes to the side of my prone lineman. The Vengabus cage. Yes, that's called prone when they're down.
So he's going straight down.
That works, sure. And the black orc flanks the same guy from the other side. Yes. So now what happens, if you fail the pickup, you've still got 2 tackle zones on where the ball is now. The other black orc is very far away from there, so you could make him another cage corner. But if you make the cage completely an X, then you're going to have your carrier next to the ball. Next to my dude. You don't want that. So your carrier is going to be one square behind that, which means that's the corner you need. Very good. And the other corner can be the other black orc. Excellent. You see that?
Okay. Yeah.
So now you've got a bit fewer tackle zones on your cage, but you can get away from the prone dude. Yes. Stand up the guy in the backfield, because he's not doing anything. And I would still take the 2 die with block on the Arianuth dude. Excellent. You don't even need a blitz because all my players are down. You're winning!
Am I?
Oh, yeah? So, your thrower can pick up, and then he has 1 square of movement left, and I think you know where you want him to go, right?
Forward.
Oh, see what happens here in the dice log?
No?
The dice log is in the bottom of your screen.
Yeah. I had a row of Red Bulls there. We have 52 seconds.
Yeah.
So I want him to go where I think he wants to go.
That's where he wants to go, absolutely. Go there. Now look at the dice log. You roll the 1 on the pickup, which is a failure, but because you have the sure hand skill, it automatically re-rolled for you, and then you roll the 5.
Okay.
Let's foul something, because fouling is fun.
Yes.
Foul with the lineman, even though you're fouling the prone guy. The stunt guy. So, you click your lineman, then you click the guy on the ground, then you make a little sound, and then you step on his head and he dies. Ah.
Damn it.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. Yeah, whatever. You're doing a great job.
No, you're doing a great job. I'm just following orders.
Yeah. You're also doing as told, but you're also doing a great job in terms of figuring stuff out for yourself. I'm trying to give you enough room to actually think and not just do. And you're doing that splendidly.
Leave my cage alone!
Yeah, if this had been a knockdown, I could very easily get next to your ball carrier with this dude. Now I have to make a 3+ GFI, which is hard because it's snowing.
Yeah, you know, it's a turnover again.
Hooray.
Thanks, mate.
I'm starting to think you're taking it easy on me.
Thanks for the resub, Squiggy.
Thanks, Squig.
Aww. Aww, that's so sweet. Alright.
Oh.
So you could score this turn if you wanted to. But you
That
don't.
sounds dangerous.
Not just dangerous, it's also a bad idea. Because if you score this turn, if you look at the turn timer at the top,
Yeah,
You're
you,
on
you
14.
would actually have enough turns to actually do something.
I would get 2 more turns, and that might make the difference between a win or a tie.
Yes. I want to stall a little.
You want to stall. Very good. Now, if you put your thrower 1 square away from the sideline, and I manage to knock him down... No, don't. If you put him...
I'm just looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he gets served.
Well, even if he's 1 square further out, and I manage to knock him down, the ball might bounce out.
Yeah.
And then it would leave your control.
Yes. 3 minutes.
You want the,
2:48.
you want the ball in your control.
Yes. I want to go with it.
So what I would do is I would try and cage here. So 1 square behind where my runner is now. So what you do, you take the Black Orc, Ugroth, and you sandwich my runner between him and the Blitzer.
No, I'm getting stressed again.
Okay.
Ugroth, where are you? Cut claw. I can't find him. No, there he is. Yes, where did I put him?
You sandwich my runner
Runner?
between the Blitzer and him.
So there.
Yeah. Because now the Blitzer can block. And if he feels... Now the Blitzer can block. If he fails to knock down, then you're still in a great spot because you can still blitz. Okay. The POW is good, and you definitely don't want to follow because that would ruin your cage. And you push him towards the thrower. So towards your side of the pitch. Yes.
And stay.
Yes, very good. Now you should be able to see exactly where your cage is going to be. I'll let you figure that one out for yourself because it's helpful.
I only have 2 minutes.
You can't form an X gauge without completely. Actually, this is a better time for screening. Let's show screening.
1.5 minutes.
Yeah, the Black Orc Varag Eatnub goes 1 square diagonally forward so that he covers the side. No.
You said for diagonally forward.
Yes, don't use his facing. Doesn't matter that much. You're going to be fine. Take him 2 squares towards this part where you score. That's what I would call forward for you.
There.
Yes, very good.
Come on, we have a 1 minute. Talk faster.
The thrower moves
Yes.
left forward and then 3 forward.
Left. What do you mean left forward?
It's a diagonal. I just want to point to the square. This is there.
There.
That one. I'm clicking.
It's that one.
You start off diagonally forward. There's only
Yes.
one of those. And then 3
Yes,
forward
and it's
from
that
there.
one.
I can't see where you're clicking. But you better send them there. More. Yeah!
God,
Go
20
there.
seconds.
Good girl. Now, the remaining Black Orc goes diagonally forward right, and then 1 forward. Yeah. Happy?
I'm gonna tell you why it was
Foul
so
something!
wrong.
Foul something! Foul something! Kill! Anything! Anything! Oh, too late.
I tried. I clicked like a fucking idiot. I'm gonna tell you what I did wrong. And I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna give everyone permission to laugh
Okay.
when I say I was kind of sort of convinced that I was gonna score on the other side of the pitch.
Yeah, that I can see why you might get confused now.
Yeah, so I was taking everything to go that way. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for the comments in chat.
Well, I totally need a scoring threat because I'm totally gonna win. No! Maybe not.
I think I'm gonna win now. Can you do a one? Yeah, you can.
In theory, with this team, I couldn't, but there is a kickoff event called a riot, which gives you an extra turn. And
So we don't want that.
And you're safe enough that you don't really need to risk this.
So what I can do. So technically, I don't need to do much up here. Can I foul something up here?
Yeah. Squiggy?
Yeah.
That is exactly how it works on Fumble, and that is how it should work. Absolutely. That after 4 minutes, or 3, or 2, or whatever, you get a button that says, I choose to time you out, I want to end your turn now. That would be so good.
Okay, I'm gonna try a thing.
Go try a thing. Live a little.
Can I
Get
foul,
creative.
Can I foul with the black orc?
You can. Usually you don't want to. In this case, it doesn't matter much. Yeah. Pretty decent.
That seems to hurt.
Yeah, you got one! Good girl. Alright.
Got another one.
So, yeah. Well,
Okay.
that sure as hell makes you a lot safer. Yeah? What
Oh,
now?
you can only use one foul.
Yeah. But kudos for the mentality where one of your biggest objections to the game is I can only foul once per turn. I love it. What I would do is just move those three, move all three of those guys forward 2 squares. Because this is really, really hard for me to reach, especially in the snow.
Yeah.
So,
And I can't punch those if they're sleeping.
you've beaten me, and I have 4 players left. I believe this is a good demonstration of Orcs doing their thing. Well done.
I haven't beaten you. You beat you. Don't you fucking dare.
Excuse me?
You do you, boo.
3, 2, 4, 3, half die. Ah. So,
Can I foul anything now? Yeah, I can.
you could.
Can I separate turnover from fouling?
Good question. The answer is yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna do this.
Oh wait, yeah, you want to stall for one more turn? Ah.
No, I don't want to stall for another turn because there is no more turns.
You're learning. Awesome. You didn't Krendor it.
Yeah,
You're at least not the worst. No. You did
I
good.
did a thing.
You can join Squeaky in the list of coaches with a list of streamers with a positive win record, with a 100% win record against me. Yeah.
Because of you. Because if it was me, I would be like 8-0.
Well, I do think this was instructional.
Yes.
I also think that if we want to actually make this into a tutorial series, it's going to have to be a little bit more structured.
Yeah, I think.
Well, maybe just a teensy bit.
This was fun.
If you guys think Caff is awesome, then go and have a look at her stream, because she also streams, well, let's say
Anything that isn't
variety.
Mostly you'll just see me wrestle my cat.
So go on and give her a follow. She's really cool. And we'll see you all in Discord or wherever. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye. Alright, YouTube. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, remember to leave it a thumbs up at the bottom. And of course, if you'd like to see more videos, do check out the channel and hit subscribe on your top right.